Maddie. Today I've got an extension of the athletic series that I've done. So I've covered things like the back, the hips, the hamstrings, done things for triathletes or people that sit down, etc. Today it's mainly focused on calves, Achilles and a little bit of hammies, but focusing basically those that run a lot will really benefit from this. Again, if you have a tight posterior chain with the legs, it's going to help you as well. You're going to need some props, so a ball. This is a trigger point ball that I use. I'm going to be using it on the foot. It's not essential to do this in the practice. I'm just going to show you a quick sequence you can do before and after your runs if you are a runner. If you haven't got a ball like this, a tennis ball might work. If you've got like a hard plastic bottle, like the reusable drinks bottles, that's quite good as well. You can fill it with water as long as it doesn't spray anything out so that you can roll underneath the foot. If you don't worry about it. You can watch and you can grab yourself one when you get a chance and then use it in the future. We'll also need a strap of some sort. We're going to be doing some hamstring work just at the end, also for the adductors and into the IT band region. So anything that's long that you can loop over your foot. Again, it's not essential if you can grab your own foot or you can hug the back of the leg if you haven't got something that's available. But we're going to come straight down onto the back. So we're going to get our glutes and core fired before we get our flow on today. So finding a comfortable position with the knees bent, setting up for our glute bridge. And we're going to start with the hands on the thighs. Now it's a grip, so the thumbs kind of to the inside of the thighs, the forefingers to the outside. Start to squeeze and press the flesh away, so you're bringing space into the front of that hip. And then start to screw your feet into the floor. We'll squeeze into the glutes and just start to elevate the hips. Again, it's not about how high the hips come, remember, it's about trying to find length through the spine here. And just squeeze into hold in place, take a few breaths. And start to think about really contracting and compressing through the core to bring as much space into our lower back as we can. So now what we're going to start to do is lift and lower our heels, little heel bops. So the heels just barely touch the floor before they lift back up. So you want to think of your heel cord or your Achilles like a bit of a spring. It's got all that potential energy which absorbs and it helps to propel us. So we want to get those little bops. I do this before every run, but from standing, which we will incorporate further on in this flow. Keep it going. I know your calves can get really tight here, but we are going to give them a good stretch today. Last 3, 2, 1. Release the heels down. I want you to lift and spread all your toes out. Really try and spread them. The big mound of the big toe stays down, so it's just the toes that lift. And then slowly release the toes down one by one. And again, lift and extend the toes away. And all the way down. And once more, lift. And down. Now squeeze into those glutes, lift the hips just a fraction higher. And we're going to flip our left toes over and see if you can stretch out that big toe. It can be quite uncomfortable. Runners, you need to be looking after your toes. The feet are super important, so make sure you give them the care and attention they need. And then release, and we'll flip the other foot over to do the same. Again, still squeezing into these glutes, still keep it nice and strong through your core. And then release. So we'll bring the hands up to the ceiling, and we'll start to stretch out the left wrist. So drawing the fingertips back. You can, if you want now, start to add a pulse. So really fire that posterior chain up. And then flip the palm over to get into the other side. And then shake it out. Before we go on to the other wrist, I want you to walk your feet a little bit further away and come back to that pulse while you start to stretch the right wrist. Just getting a little bit more hamstring engagement there. And then flip the palm over. And then shake it out. We'll start to slowly lower the hands down and then we'll slowly lower the hips. So we're going to bring our legs up to the ceiling. Now if you have got really tight hamstrings, you might want to keep a 90-degree bend in the knees instead. So see how it feels. The legs aren't going to be poker straight. If you've just woken up and you find that the hamstrings are really tight or you've just been for a run, for example, maybe keep a slight bend there. Find a comfortable position over anything else. We're going to interlace the hands behind the head and the elbows are going to hug in. We'll start to again compress through the abdomen, bring in space into that lower back. We'll take a big inhale.
And then as you exhale, just lift off the shoulder blades. Press the head back into the hands. We're going to bring our left hand onto the belly, compress there, and I want you to point your left toes, and I want you to flex your right. Hold it there. Then relax the feet, bring the left hand back, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, right hand to belly, compress. Point the right foot, flex the left. Keep lifting off those shoulder blades. Release the feet, hand to the head, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, left hand to belly. Point the left foot, flex the right, lift it a little bit higher. Now twist about an inch to your left, that right elbow slightly goes over to the other side. Relax the feet, hand back to the head, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, right hand to belly, point the right foot, flex the left. A little bit higher and twist to your right. Hold it there. Relax the feet, hand to the head, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Left hand to belly, point the left foot, flex the right, lift higher, twist to your left. Now we're going to slowly come through center, and as you do so, switch the feet over, switch the hands over, twist to the right. And again, slowly back through center, switch the feet, switch the hands, come over to the left. Through center once more, coming back over to the right. Back to center, inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. Right hand to belly, point the right foot, flex the left, lift higher, twist to your right. Good, move through center, switch everything over, come over to the other side, keep lifting, especially off the shoulder you're twisting towards. Come back through center to the other side. Back through center. And again, keep it going. And finishing over to the left, hold it there. Then back to center, and you can release. And just keep the feet on the floor. Take a moment just to breathe. And we're just going to lift the left leg off the floor. We're going to straighten the leg up. We're not going to use the strap for now. We're just going to interlace the hands either to the hamstring or to the calf, or maybe even reaching your foot, and just pull the leg towards you. Slight bend in the knee if needed, and breathe. Relax the shoulders. And then soften the left knee and release, and we'll switch over. Bring the right leg up. And then gently release. So we're going to hug the knees in, make your way up, and we'll roll straight over onto all fours. So hands are going to come underneath the shoulders, and our knees are going to come underneath the hips, so we're in quadruped. Press into the floor, but slightly draw the shoulder blades together. Really start to hug the belly in. We're going to start to lengthen the left leg back. Firm up through your left glute, keep pressing into the floor, and then lift the leg up. What I want you to do is bring the leg over to the right, and bring the toes down onto the floor. So you're keeping them tucked, but pressing away. And just start to take a side bend and look towards that heel. So you're looking over that right shoulder. And then inhale, lift the leg through center. We're going to open it out to the left, keep it in line with the hip, and then pop it all the way down. And I want you to bring your left hand to the back of the head. Inhale, slowly open up. And as you exhale, bring that left elbow down towards the right wrist. And again, inhale to open. Exhale to come down. Inhale to open. And then as you come down, see if you can thread your shoulder through. Maybe lengthening the right arm down towards the top of the mat. And then pulling that right hand in, we'll make our way back with the hands underneath the shoulders, and our left foot's going to step in front. Now hands are going to stay on the floor. If you do have access to blocks, you're welcome to use them to bring them underneath the hands if you're struggling to contact with the ground. But as we inhale, we'll just drive the hips forward, lift the chest. And as you exhale, come back into a half split, pulling the toes up, dragging the heel towards you. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Inhale to come forward, and then we'll just step that left foot back to come onto all fours again. Good, so this time as you inhale, right leg lengthens. Again, we're drawing those shoulder blades together. We're picking up the belly, firm up through the glute, and we'll lift the right foot. Now move that leg over to the left, bringing the toes to the floor, keeping them tucked. Hug the belly in and start to bend through the side of the waist as you look over that left shoulder towards your toes. And then as you inhale, come back through centre. We're going to open the leg out to the right, bringing it in line with the hip before dropping down. Right hand's going to come to the back of the head. And as you inhale, slowly open up. And as you exhale, bring the elbow down towards the left hand. And again, inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. And then exhale to come down and thread through. Maybe lengthening the left arm down. Keep pressing into that right foot and slide the foot further away if you need to get a little bit deeper. Last breath. And then slowly come up, bringing the hands underneath. The shoulders will step the right foot in front, so you can come back into that mini hip vinyasa. So inhale, drive the hips forward, lift the chest. And then exhale to come back. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to come back. Keep it going. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Now inhale to come forward. We're going to tuck the back toes underneath, lifting the knee, and we'll step to the top of the mat to fold down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. We'll step the right foot back, we'll drop the knee. I want you to keep the toes tucked. And we're going to come up. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the lower back. And smush the hands. So pull the hands towards one another. Really root the tailbone down. Think about these front hip bones pulling up to find that neutral pelvis. Left hand is going to grip just above the knee on top of the thigh. Inhale, reach up, get as long as you can. Keep those glutes nice and strong, but then start to drive the hips forward. Press into those tuck toes, let the shoulders relax. Big inhale. And exhale. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands down, lift the back knee and we'll step back into plank. Squeeze into the glutes, drop the knees, exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, pull back, relax the shoulders, squeeze into those glutes, lower the chest, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Soften both the knees, look to the hands, step the right foot forward, drop the left knee down, toes stay tucked. Again, one hand to belly, one hand to the lower back. Push the hands towards one another, tailbone roots down, think about these front hip bones or pelvic bones pulling up. Right hand grips the thigh, inhale. Exhale, drive forward. And again, big inhale. And exhale. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. We'll release the hands down and then step forward to fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. Step the left foot back, keep the toes tucked as you drop the knee. And as you inhale, arms come up. Right hand's going to grab the left wrist. As you inhale, pull that arm up. As you exhale, take it over to the right, freeing up that fascia in the side of the body. And then maybe start to look to your left foot. So start to twist as well as taking this lateral stretch. Last breath. Inhale to center. Hands come down, lift the back knee, step into plank. Drop the knees down, and as you exhale, slowly lower onto the belly. Inhale, pull back, relax the shoulders, and then exhale for downward facing dog.
Soften the knees, look to the hands, left foot steps through, right knee comes down, toes stay tucked, and root that tailbone down. As the arms come overhead, you'll take hold of your right wrist. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to lean. Take that lateral stretch there, maybe adding that twist as you look down to your back heel. Keep squeezing that right glute, driving the hip forward. And then inhale to center, hands come down, and we'll step forward to fold. Inhale, come up, and then exhale, hands to heart center. This is where you're going to need the ball. It's going to be a very short little sequence. I'm just going to show you what to do to help release the plantar fascia if that's something you struggle with. So we're going to start with the ball. We're going to start with the right foot, just underneath the big toe mound, where the big toe attaches to your foot. And you're going to put a little bit of pressure. You might want to do this from seated if you do have any pain at the minute. Now this ball's got a bit of give in it. I might feel quite happy, so I'm just putting a little bit of weight into it. So I'm leaning ever so slightly. Now I feel that start to feel a bit uncomfortable. I'm just going to hold it there for a minute. As it starts to relax a bit, I'll then move off it. Now I'm coming right underneath the arch on the inside. Again, I'm going to hold it there. And then I'm going to roll a bit further back. So people always ask me how long do I hold it there. You want to try and have it there till the tissue starts to relax or it starts to feel a bit more comfortable. If you're there for like a minute and it's not releasing, move on and come back to it if you need to. So once you get to the back towards the heel, move over to your right slightly to come into the middle line of the foot and press. And we're going to travel down the foot now, so we're going to bring it to the middle of the foot. Again, press. I find the outside line, the inside line of my foot's the worst, and you might find you get to know the areas that are generally the tightest for you. And then I'm coming just underneath kind of the second and third toe. And now I'm going to roll the foot to the outside of my foot. So I'm coming to like my fourth toe, my pinky toe. A little bit of pressure there. And again, once it starts to release, I'll move up. So I'm kind of midway on the outside line. And then further up again. So you might want to do this for a lot longer. I'm just quickly showing you. I'm just going to show you the right foot. Of course, if you want to quickly do your left foot as well, please do. But really good to do before running, after running, just to free up that fascia, especially if you have tight Achilles as well. It will help, hopefully, bring a little bit more space into that region. So we're going to come to the top of the mat. We're going to bring the hands into heart center. Screw the feet into the floor. Think about the inside arch of your feet lifting slightly. As we inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Exhale, send the hips back to fold. And we're going to step the right foot back. Doesn't have to be too big of a lunge here. Hands are going to stay down. We're going to take a big inhale. Now, as you exhale, just start to lengthen your left leg. And you might want to lift the toes. You can keep a nice bend there. We're just going to start to open into the calf and into the hammy. Breathe here. Now, release the left toes down if you've lifted them. And you're going to leave the majority of the foot down, but just lift your 5 toes. So that's it, like we did when we were on our backs. If you want to step the right foot forward to get a stronger base, please do. Again, breathe. Now, as you inhale, you soften into that left knee. I'm going to bring the palms onto the floor, fingertips if needed. Lift the right leg. Firm up through your left glute. So while it's great to stretch for our runners, we also need to make sure we have strength there. So just loading our hamstrings here, squeezing through the glute to get that all fired up. Lift the chest, look forward as you open the heart. And then we're going to bring our right foot and we're going to kind of cross it to the outside of the left. Bring your toes to turn in, heels out, come onto the fingertips. And just kind of wiggle side to side. And then come to center, lift the right leg and take a big step back. Right hand's going to stay down. As you inhale, left hand comes up. Again, maybe lift your left toes again. Maybe start to straighten your left leg. And breathe. Soften into that left knee. Left hand comes down. We're going to turn around to our right. And we'll just open into those adductors. So a nice lateral movement. Again, breathe here, go as deep as you want to. Think about the hips going back, not your knees forward. And then turn into the front of the mat. We'll step forward to fold. I want you to take hold of your big toes, your first two fingers and thumb. Connect the belly with the thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, start to lift the tailbone so you're straightening the legs slightly into a point where it's too much. And then back off slightly if needed. If you need to go deeper, bend the elbows and start to draw the shoulders down towards your toes. Final breath. And then soften in the knees, release the hands, inhale, lengthen. We'll come all the way up, arms overhead. And then exhale, send the hips back to fold. We'll step the left foot back, drive the chest forward, relax, just take a breath. Now slowly, starting to straighten that right leg, maybe lifting so the weight's through the heel, starting to release into the calf, the hammy. And if you need to step that back foot forward for more support, please do. And of course, bend the right knee as much as is needed. Now release the foot down, but keep the toes lifted. And one more breath. And then softening into your right knee. We'll load into the hands, into the leg, squeeze into the glute. Keep that chest nice and open. Just breathe here. The left foot behind the right, toes turn in, heels out. Again, bend the knees here if you need to. Come onto your fingertips and just kind of cross side to side with the ribs. And then as you uncross, take a big step back with the left foot. Left hand stays down as you inhale, right arm reaches up. Maybe lifting your toes, maybe straightening the leg. And then soften into the right knee, right hand comes down, turn around to your left, come back into those lateral lunges. And then lunge into your left leg with the hands underneath the shoulders, really press into the floor and just sit back and maybe pulse. And then slowly over to the right, same again, press into the hands, keep the chest open and pulse. And then turn to the front of the mat, step the foot forward, to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to bring one hand to the belly again, one hand to the lower back. Set the pelvis so your tailbone's rooting down, squeezing into the glutes. If you leave the hands there, you can release some, we're going to come into some heel bops. Keep it going. We're going to bend the knees, we're going to bring the arms in front. Kind of like an elevated chair. Hold it there. Now straighten the legs and come all the way down. Same again, heel bops. Some little drills we're doing for the Achilles, the calves. Now come up, bend the knees, sit back so you can get a little bit lower. One more breath. And then come all the way up, release the heels down. One more, heel bops, keep the arms in front. Lift up, bend the knees, sit back. Now we're going to swing the arms side to side. So a little rotation through our ribs, through our T-spine. Keep lifting off those heels if you can. It's a little drill that I use a lot, courtesy of Lara Hyman, so worth checking her out online. You can find her on my Insta. I'll give you a message and I'll link her up to you. She is incredible. Keep it going. And then coming back to center, we're going to drop the heels down. Right hand is going to slide down the left leg as the right leg goes back. And then as we come up, we're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Slide the right hand down the left leg, bring it back, and come all the way up. And again, all the way back, and all the way up. Keep it going. It can get pretty tough. And next time we step it back, we're going to bring the hands down, drop your right heel in a slight diagonal and turn your left toes over to the right. Come onto the fingertips, again with the foot down, the big toe mound down, lift just the toes, so it's not just the weight in the heels. Come onto your fingertips, maybe you stay here, maybe you walk your hands over to the left. Let the head release. Final breath. Then come back to centre, walk around to your right, straighten up the feet for a straddle, come stay on the fingertips, and again shimmy the rib cage side to side. And then slowly turn back to the front of the mat, step forward to fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to heart centre, one hand to the belly, one hand to the lower back. Set that pelvis and come to those heel pops again if you're comfortable. Leaving the hands there, then do. I quite like it, keeps that pelvis in check. Of course, you're welcome to release instead. Now stay up, sit back, bring the arms in front. Hug the belly and keep that neutral pelvis. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Last breath. Straighten the legs, lower the arms, lower the heels. Come back up, arms come in front, sit back. Hold it there. Good, straighten up, lower the arms, lower the heels, come back up. And now swing the arms. It's controlled, we're moving them side to side. I say swing, but there is a controlled swing. Tough on the balance as well. You can probably see me wobbling quite a bit. Last couple. Then come to centre, drop the heels down, left hand to the right thigh. We're going to send our weight back, left leg comes behind, then come all the way up. And again all the way back, and up. And just keep it going. Now you can tap that left foot down as you bring it forward, or you can keep it off the floor if you want a further challenge. Work that hip hinge. And then we're going to step the left foot back, drop the heel in if you can. Fingertips to the floor, turn the right foot into the left. Again, lift all of the toes, keep the rest of the foot down, come onto the fingertips. See if you can walk the hands to the right. If you need to lift off that back heel or bend into your right knee, then please do. One more breath. Then walk your hands through centre, over to the left. Again, straddling the feet. We're going to take an inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale to fold. Soften the knees as much as you need to, and breathe. Final breath. And as you inhale, lift the chest. Walk around to the top of the mat, and then we'll step forward to fold. Now we're going to come down onto our back. This is where you're going to need your strap. We're going to start with the strap around our left foot. Again, if you haven't got a strap, you can just interlace the hands behind the leg somewhere. And I just want you to pull the leg towards you. And see if you can get your strap kind of at the top of the foot, so where the base of the toes are. So you can really pull that in to stretch the calf more than the hamstring. So you're really flexing that foot, pulling the toes up towards the knee. If it's too much, you can then release and then always come back into it. Wherever you are, breathe.
to our left hand. Coming back to these adductors, pull the leg towards you a little bit closer if you can, and then start to open out to the left. And then slowly come back to centre. Switch the hand over, so the right hand is higher on the strap. Pull the foot towards you slightly and then move the foot slightly over to the right. Roll the big toe down, little toe up. You can feel this into the outside of the ankle, outside of the calf and shin maybe. You might feel it in the IT band region. Now, you can't necessarily stretch out your IT band, unfortunately. I can give you some information on that if you have any IT band problems. Unfortunately, it's not like a muscle where we can lengthen it. It takes a lot of force to stretch out your IT band, and we can't just do it on our own, so, or anyone else really. So it's just going to help release that chain. Breathe here, one more breath. And then slowly come back to centre. So we'll switch the legs over, bring your right leg in, the left leg comes down. Again, see if you can bring the strap to kind of the base of the toes. Really pull those toes down, flex that foot, and you can feel it into the calf there a little bit more than you would normally. Sometimes it's more in the hamstring. Now bring the right hand a little bit higher than the left, and then pull the foot towards you slightly more before opening out. Just allowing that groin to open into the adductors. Switch over, so the left hand's a little bit higher and closer to the foot. Pull the leg towards you slightly, then move just ever so slightly over to the left. It's not a massive movement. Maybe roll the big toe down, the little toe up, and you'll feel that starting to work into the outer part of the leg. And then slowly coming back to centre before releasing. And then finish, we're just going to cross our left ankle over the right thigh for figure 4. Just apply a little bit of pressure to that left thigh as you push it away. I'm just coming into sort of a global internal rotation here. We're going to straighten out the arms either side. We're going to twist down to the left so that our left foot can pull the right thigh down. So we've got that nice internal rotation at our right hip. And then slowly we'll come back to centre. And then switching the legs over, bring left foot down, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and use your right hand to just press the thigh away. The arms out, we'll twist over to the right, drawing that left knee down, turning your head to the left. And slowly coming back to centre before finding a comfortable resting position. Now if you're just going for a run, of course, fire away. If not, and you're taking some time to relax, just make yourself as comfortable as possible so you can totally let go. You haven't got to hold yourself in place anywhere. Or as long here as you need, even if the video stops. Just bring your full attention inwards to the breath. To soften your body even further. Bring it back to the breath as many times as you need to. With me today. Namaste.